Who would like to start? Who's having trouble from what bad position? Yes, sir.
You had me in side control. I told you side control was my weakness.
There's no solution for that. Next. I had you at.
Oh, anyway, yeah. So, I'm familiar with side control where you have, like if you're over here, you have this underhook. If you're in that position, you have this underhook. But you caught me completely off guard when you had this underhook. And this one was free, so I didn't know where to go after that.
Now you know how it feels, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Well, he's really good at that, you know, because he's starting to roll the hips and control. Because the thing that I wanted to do with you is to show you the effectiveness of walking around the head and rolling your hips. Your hips are also mechanisms they're like sensors. You feel where the arms are, okay? So when you begin to kind of visualize what the signal is and what your hips and your body's picking up, you can feel where the arms are at. So what I was doing here is get your arm in the right position, okay? So look, I can feel his arms there, okay? And he's making me uncomfortable, as you can see the horse is changing. And like I tell you guys, okay, you need to roll the hips. So if I'm gonna pull, and I can't pull this because he's got, I'm gonna push it and I'm gonna roll over that arm. And I'm gonna get real low and I'm gonna block the hip with my right hand and I'm gonna roll the hip with my left hip, okay? I can feel it's stretched out like a key lock. I can feel his chin is in my rib, okay? So if I really wanted to, I can begin to move his head. See, now I can feel he's facing that way. My left hand is scooping here. And one thing that I don't like what I'm doing is I'm too far off. My chest is on his chest. So I'm gonna take my feet and I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna slide up. And now I have my hip on his face. Can you turn your face to the right? It's tough. So now from here, I got a good position. Not really much he can do. He can't put me in half guard. He can't really kind of frame anyways. And his arms are at a position on top of everything. This arm, the one that I pinned with the hip, can you move that arm around?
Not without you moving, but
Exactly. So if he's moving that arm, why would I not? Yeah, okay. There. Now this is good for him, bad for me. So I'd have to roll back here and then jam this up, have this underhook. But now he's got that far side underhook. So here, I don't want to give him the opportunity to shut me up over his head and then get out from that way. And then I'm already kind of in this weird scramble where it turns into this kind of like who can get on top. And it's almost an even position. So for the person on the top, okay, what I want to do is I want to get his arms out of position. I want to walk around that head. I want to make them feel uncomfortable from the pressure. I want to understand that their response, slide your head this way, is going to be one that is going to give me an advantage in order to set something up from the top. So if we're here, okay, it does not feel good when the fist or the hand connects with its own side shoulder, okay? It's very uncomfortable, especially if you have like actual muscle there, it's even worse. So what they'll do is that as I push this down and I roll over it, he'll probably straighten it out. Otherwise it's gonna, or he'll do that. I don't mind that. It's way out of position here. So now I can feel it straight, but he's not gonna keep it straight. Oh, look, he went for an underhook. I went for an underhook here, and I got this right here. Look, and now I have, see the arms are out of position. This one's out of position here. This one potentially will be out of position here because, so maybe I'll get a key lock if he straightens it. Maybe I have a straight arm. So everything gets out of position when you properly roll the hips and you are working off of the response of the bottom person and not trying to force anything. Because if I'm here, I'm like this. I mean, I'm just losing position, you know? It's like trying to play chess where you're just like trying to take the pieces without setting up anything. You're not gonna do it. So you gotta think chess. The pressure, as Jean-Jacques always told me many years ago, pressure goes, Greg, don't move. First one to move and change the position loses. And I'm like, but how do I do anything? He goes, First one to change the position loses. And I'm like, oh, so what do? But I realized what that meant. What that meant is that I gotta give him so much pressure where I gotta completely restrict all the movement. And I gotta be here, and let's say here, okay? I gotta believe that here, we're restricted. He's gotta adjust to the discomfort. I know what he's gonna do. Go ahead. What would you do from here?
Pray.
So if you were to adjust your position, what would you do? Exactly. I knew he's gotta do that. Look, this right here, this right here. Look, maybe this here. It sets it up. But the whole key is the pressure. If he's not uncomfortable, why would he change his position first? So instead of me doing all kinds of movements that don't really have much of a purpose, you completely slow down all of your movement to complete nothing except the pressure in certain points where you anticipate he's either gonna move this arm or he's gonna move his hip. Whichever one he moves, I'm already set up for it. Because if we're here, okay, I know I have his head misaligned, this arm here, and my hip. So now I feel slowly. Where would you move slowly here? Yes, yeah, there we go. Look. Okay? So once you begin to understand the importance of the pressure, you're gonna be able to really cause the other person to move in ways that you can anticipate. Otherwise, when you're moving first, you almost have to have this more athletic type of a jiu-jitsu where you're gonna catch him on the go, where you're gonna just basically start a race and you're going to outrun, okay? For the person on the bottom, okay? You're on top. I need to do the same thing. I need to make him uncomfortable. Look, my arms are out of position. Gotta put my arm in position. I gotta go here, and I gotta frame here. What would you do from here? I know he's gonna roll his hips. I know because he's uncomfortable. He's gotta roll his hips. Go ahead. Okay. I have to be able to make him uncomfortable on top. If he's on top, it does not mean get your whatever control you want. There? Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you comfortable there? Ooh. Okay. What would you move? Look, I know he's gonna move his leg. Yeah, there. Look, do you see how that right there? I know he's either gonna move his left leg to relieve the pressure, or he possibly may step over to mount, and I can anticipate a half foot. Now from here, okay? Mm-hmm. I don't feel are you comfortable?
I'm at a disadvantage.
You're on top though, what do you mean?
Well, you got my leg. Can't move.
Okay, but do you feel uncomfortable?
No.
Okay. Hey, do you feel uncomfortable now?
Yes.
What do you feel?
That I'm about to get swept.
Okay, so what would you do?
Roll my hips. Try to stay on top.
Now what would you do?
Get swept.
Okay. Because I can feel him shifting his weight to adjust to the position on top. That for him should be uncomfortable. Does that make any sense?
No.
I know. But at some point it will.
So would it be beneficial for him to move your head off spine more?
What will be beneficial is for him to think how he can make me uncomfortable to be in that position. So I'm making him uncomfortable to be in that top position. Now he's gonna think, well, what do I gotta do to now make him feel uncomfortable to where he moves first? Because I'm uncomfortable. If I start moving, he's already ahead of me. So what do I have to do on top? Go ahead, look here. Let's go down. You're down. You got me in a half guard. You got an underhook. You got my leg with my, I'll take this way. Your right hand is pulling my shin. Underneath. Under palm up. And you, yes, look, I'm here, okay? I'm not very comfortable. But what I need to do is, I can't all of a sudden start reacting unless I'm just already gonna go in a scramble. So from here, what I would do is maybe is this, okay? Now what would you do from here?
Good question.
Well, There you go. Sorry. What would you do from here? You see how he's moving? You see how the movement is more so controlled to where I'm thinking, how do I make him be more uncomfortable? I know he's got that knee shield. I know he's really uncomfortable here. And he's got an underhook. And I did that all with the knee popped out until I popped it back in just now. And look, here, and maybe I'll go here. And then maybe from here. I'll go here. Maybe here, but the point is that you've got to make the person uncomfortable, regardless if they're on the bottom or on top. Does that make any sense? Probably not, but it will, if I do my teachings right, okay? Did I answer any part of your question?
All of it.
Okay.
50% of it.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? You gotta make the person uncomfortable. It doesn't matter whether they're on top or on the bottom. Typically, a lot of it has to do with your hips, taking their head off alignment, underhook, and flattening them out. And then making sure that you look at them and you say, when I'm there, I'm really uncomfortable. I'm gonna make them uncomfortable there. And when you get them to that uncomfortable point, you make it even more uncomfortable. And you slow down and you wait for them to move. Don't move from the discomfort. Nobody can sit there like this for too long, you know what I'm saying? Until they begin to kind of like, already fight out of it. So, anybody else have any questions? Anybody? Anyone? Anyone? That's it? Okay, all right, good. Yeah, all right.
So if I find myself getting what looks like a Kimura to begin with, I get there often and then can't finish. Don't.
From the closed guard. From the guard.
From guard.
Okay, so show me on Oliver what you do.
Yes, sir.
So you're in guard, head facing this way, and feet that way, and then you're ready.
We'll be in my guard. I'll wait till my hand hits the mat. Shoot up.
Okay, go ahead.
And walk in here.
Okay.
Once I'm here, I don't know what the leverage is exactly to get.
Okay,
I
free.
can't ever finish.
Okay. You need to be on your right side. So literally on your right side. So the way you would do this is put your left foot on the mat and pick your right foot up as you start to scoot your hip to knee. And keep your right foot heel like clamping up his belt line. Yes. Turn more to your right side. Good. Put your left foot on the mat. Move your hip out. Now move your shoulders out. Now away. Move your shoulders away. But don't bring your hip back in. Move your hip out.
Okay.
And move your shoulders away. Move your hip out. Move your shoulders away.
Walk it out.
Yeah, walk it out. Turn to your right side and pinch your right elbow on his shoulder ball. Now take your left foot, throw it over his belt line, cross your feet, open your left knee out towards his belt. Out, open like a butterfly. Yes, good. And now bend his arm at a 90-degree angle. Minute. Right here. And elbow pinching there. Okay, look to your right, knees to your left, lift your hips up, push them slowly away and corkscrew your body to the right. But keep this, lift your hips up off the mat and corkscrew to the right. But you gotta keep his arm bent. Keep going. There you go. Yeah.
All right, Gandhi.
Okay, now, try this, watch. Scoot out. Very important with Kimura, just as with the key lock, you should not use your thumbs. You should use your thumb to secure it, but once you actually get it, it should not be with your thumbs. It should be without the thumbs, okay? So if I go here, and I get here, and I get here, look, I'm gonna go here, all right? So he can't hop over. I'm moving my shoulders, hips, shoulders, hips, shoulders, and the whole time, you see what I'm doing with his here? If I hold it with my thumb right here, and he slowly straightens it out, I have to let go because my thumb is getting tweaked. So what I'm doing here is, I'm controlling here and I want to scoop it to shoulder with my elbow. So here, perfectly pump, and I'm rolling it forward. So I control. Can you straighten out your arm? Okay. So here, I'm on my right side, throw my leg over here, and I'm gonna lift my hip up. Okay, as my knees go to the left, my body goes to the right. Okay? And I wanna be kinda on his shoulder joint right there, as I twist to the right. I don't wanna do this, because he'll straighten it. But if he does, then I have that back up right there. But I wanna be pinching here, and I wanna be up and rotating. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Try it. Scoot down that way, guys. Scoot the feet the other way. I mean, yeah, your hip has to come to the left. Yes, and now bring your foot up. Yes. Yes. Now roll back and pinch his elbow. Good. Now adjust your hip, shoulder. Get your right hip up the belt line. Good. Now close your feet across the belt line and open your knees. So you're going across. Yes. There you go. Arch a little bit. There you go. When you go, Davis, go back, please, sir. When you get that lock, you want to be rolling his wrist, but grab it right about here. Roll it forward so your arm's straight now, and no thumb. No. Roll it forward. Yes, like this, and this one rolls this forward. Okay, so you have a solid lock, because you almost have a wrist lock right there too. As your elbow, it should be pinching kind of on his shoulder. But what I want you to do is that I want you to use your feet to kind of drive your hips in and lift your hips up. So so now you can corkscrew. So your lower body goes to the left as your upper body goes to the right. But open your knee to the left and push him away with your legs. There you go. So it's like you're gonna lock him in and you're gonna kind of push away so that because in order for me to go this way, my lower body has to go to the left.
Yes, sir.
That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, guys. Let's do a couple more rounds. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Nick, is that my blood on you, or?
What was that?
Is that my blood on you, or is that